Hello, Debbie with stitching here. I got my machine all set up. First step is the batting, and again there is a thread list made for it. It comes in handy, I think. I write down the numbers of the needle for the multi-stitch. So I was so excited about starting this project that I didn't even say what the project was. Let's see if I can get this in. Like I said, the camera is really close. So this is block 6. It's a skeleton in the library. Every time I have to trim, I'm going to have a problem because I can't get around the camera. That's all trimmed out. Our second step is the border fabric tacked down, and then we'll trim that. Third step, now it says to trim. It means to trim the inside out. I'm going to leave it in. Now we're going to do the wall placement. And I'm being really uncreative. And it's just brown. It's a boring library. That's what I decided. Boring library. One wall tacked down, and then it'll be trim. Alright, I've got the wall trimmed down. Now it's going to do wall quilting. Step 5, wall quilting. It's just going to run some lines up and down the walls. The 6th step is floor fabric face down, like we did in the original ones. I have Wonder Under on this, and I'm trying to find the line it stops at. I tried to leave enough space so that, because you don't want to get that stitch line through the Wonder Under if you can help it, because it doesn't fold over as easily from that. It'll keep bouncing up. I mean, you can do it, but you'll have to tape it down in place. Okay. See, this is the problem with having it so close. I just did that whole thing and you couldn't see it. This is my floor. We have to get it just on the other side of this line. There. And now it's going to start stitching. Alright, now we're going to fold this over. I'm still going to put some tape on it. And now it's going to do the outside edge that you'll trim at. I have learned my lesson. Trim both sides and the bottom. You have a border fabric, so you need to cut this flush. I have left it on before thinking, oh, it's not in the way. Oh, yeah, it is. There's going to be stitches going over the edges on the sides, that kind of thing. It just, in different blocks, it was a mistake to leave it on. And afterwards I was trying to trim it out. We're gonna what I need is a setup where the camera is hanging down from above. But that would entail quite a cost, and we'll worry about that another day. Okay, so we've done the edge of the floor. So now it's going to do slime on the wall. I considered red blood dripping on the wall, but decided to go back to the slime. So now it's going to do the slime in the upper corner, if that green will work. I know my eyes wouldn't be able to see it, and it's going to be hanging up when it's all said and done. Alright, next step. What color are we going to torture ourselves with now? Satin on the block border. Oh, I'm going to try this camera, because when it got really going, that camera's just bouncing like crazy. If I can't hang it above, then I need something a little more stable, and my phone seems to have a better stabilizer in it. I don't know. Maybe it has to do with the tripod I use. I don't know. But I did switch over. Let's try it again. Step 10 is going to put in the legs for the bookcase. Step 11, the bookcase placement. Now, this is technically the back board of the bookcase, and I figured black would work for it. Okay. And now we have to trim. At least the stand is smaller. I think that's why it doesn't bounce as much. It's a very lightweight stand, and then there's just the little bit of weight of the camera. Okay, I'll have to move you. All right, that's trimmed. Now it's the spider web in the bookcase. At least my glow-in-the-dark stitching. I had some white, so I put that in because I've been using the gray because I decided I wanted that great big skeleton to be white. So since I can't mess too much with my colors, I just put in the one. All right, now we're going to do the shelves in the bookcases. We are on step 14. Now it's going to do, on step 15, it's going to be the corks and the bottles. It's going to be the same brown. Kind of boring, but that's okay. The picture itself will make up for it. Now it's going to do the left bottle, and that's a solid color. So I figured it was like the color of the glass kind of a thing. I believe I went with blue. I punched in the right number. Yes. This is a matte. See what I mean? Isn't that beautiful? But it's not shiny like the brown is. It's matte, but it's a nice contrast. Okay, the next step is the liquid in here. And I've got red or blood, like in one of the other squares. I thought, well, we'll do it. Just stick with that. The red was working. Now it's going to do the shine on the side of the bottle, the outline of this bottle, and then the outline of the eye case on the next shelf down. The middle shelf has a glass case with a big giant eyeball in it. Now it's going to do the white of the eye, and I use the glow-in-the-dark white. Now it's going to do the iris, the color in the eye. Now it's going to do the pupil, the black of your eye. Now it's going to do that tiny little gleam in your eye, that little white dot. I guess that with my white being white, it doesn't look as good. Okay, the base of the eye case is going to go now. Now it's sitting on a book, and that's what we'll stitch next. On the bottom, our books running across. It's going to start with the book on the left side. Now it's going to, how's it, let me look. It's going to skip a book and do the third book over. Now it's going to go back and do the one in between and some detail work on that first book. Now it's going to do the last book on that shelf. It's leaning slightly. Okay. Now it's going to do the satin stitches on the sides and the bottom of the bookcase. It splits it up. The very top of the bookcase so that is separate, so that if you wanted a different color, and normally I would, like maybe a marble top kind of, oh, I should have put gray in. I can still do that. I have discovered that with this machine, I can go in and change a color as long as I know which one I'm doing. But I know that it's about to do those sides, and after that is the top of the bookcase. So I can change that second number to 7. Of course, it's untested, so... And now it's going to go back. It's still going to do the next step. See, I'm figuring things out. It's so close to being done. All right. Now it's going to do the mushroom stem floating up here in the air. It's actually inside of a glass case sitting on the top. It's going to look like it's floating. Really needed beige in there, didn't it? Now it's going to do the mushroom top. Should have done it purple. Oh, I did it. I automatically put it in as theirs. Well, also red works for me, so. The glass case for the mushroom around it. Now it's the bottom of the case. All right, it's going to do the wicks. They're just a tiny little bitty spot. I guess technically if you wanted to skip those, it wouldn't matter, would it? All right. Now it's going to do the right candle, the taller one. Or, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Now it's going to do the right. Let's get my right and left. This one, the short one. So we've got that going. Now it's going to do the left candle. Legs of the chair. Now it's going to do the left back leg. Let's see. It's going to do a leg here. Just a piece of one, a bit of one that's going to be behind the skeleton. And then the one that's on the back of the chair that the books are going to be stacked in front of. I changed to a darker brown. So. Now there's a spider web under the chair. It's going to do that. Now it's going to do the chair, the placement line for the chair. Wait till you see the fabric I've got for that. So, you can either say Victorian age, or you can say 80s, because flowers, you know, everything was covered in flowers in the 80s. Woo, boy, was it. And I decided, that works. We needed a pop of color. It's dark, but it's a library. I don't know what to tell you. It's an old, creepy library. Besides, now the skeleton will really pop on that. Now it's going to tack it down. Probably should have used white so I could see it better on all that. Let me trim it out. Now, I kind of struggled with my scissors to get in here to cut that out. This is a 6-inch square. So it's, you know, next to the largest, I think. Don't want to fuss with that. We're going to be putting cushion fabric over it. You can always just leave that little piece in because you're going to cover it up. I'm using red satin, but I'm using the back side of it. It's more matte finish. And even though it's not quite the right red, it's the red I had, and I decided I was using it. Little pop of color. And now it's going to be trimmed it out. Where are we? It's going to do, it says chair detail and satin edge. Chair detail. Oh, I think it's an extra little seam line or something it's putting in. And I'm doing that in red. Should have used red for the placement. So that last bit was the detail it was talking about. Okay. Oh, front of the left arm. I'm glad I changed that brown to the dark. It looks a little, it shows up a little better. The other one blends in with the fabric really too much. Okay, chair cushion placement. Here we go. It's red again. I made this huge piece and I only needed a tiny little bit, but the thing said like 3x4 or something like that. Yeah, you don't need a 3x4 for this tiny little square. I am a mess. All right, here we go. All right, I need to trim. Now it'll be the satin edge on the cushion. Yes, it is a bright red, and it needed to be a duller red, but it is what it is. Cool, they made it. Now it's going to work on the floor stack of books, and the first one is the bottom book. Now it'll do the second from the top. I don't know what it's doing. So if that was the second from the bottom, now the top. Now it's going to do the skeleton. is the nose cavity and the eye sockets. It's going to put some black in there. Arm on the chair. And the last one, step 55, is the front chair leg. That's it. All done. Yeah! You know, I started this before I even had coffee this morning. I've drank 4 cups while doing it, so yeah, it takes a while. Gonna move you. I will cut that part out. All right. So here's my finished block. You know, when I was looking at the fabrics, I thought kind of boring. And using so much of this, you know, like just red and that brown, that kind of thing, kind of boring. But actually, it's not so boring. It'll work. You can't have every room screaming at you, right? So if you have downloaded this, check and see if step 48 says second from top or second from bottom, because that's talking about stack of books on the bottom, and I had reversed them. I put top and it should have said bottom. I'll go in and I'll fix that, but if you've already downloaded it, you know, just verify. And that means that step 49 is the 3rd book up from the floor. Since it starts on the floor, that's where I started counting. The floor, then the 2nd one, the 3rd one, and then the top one. And I had written down that it did detail. I think, well, what it is you're typing and it'll put in words for you. If you hit the tab, they're there. And I must have hit the tab and let it all go in. You know, this part with the detail on, but I don't know. Anyhow, I put that in there. It does belong there. There's no details on any of those books in that stack. Yes, it does take a while to stitch out. It's still, I mean, we're doing this for fun. It fills up my day, but, you know, I can't even say that, you know, all I do is clean, because after I injured my back, it's actually rather difficult to clean for any length of time. And I hate cleaning anyway, so that worked out for me. So, I don't do a lot of the cleaning around the house. My son does it for me. Where would I be without him? I saved this piece because it fits in my 4x4. Just saying. I know this was a really long video and then I'm yakking like crazy, but thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate every single one of you that view my videos, especially if you make it through it, because they tend to be kind of long. If you don't like how close the camera is, please let me know. I can only go off of what one person said because it was the only comment I had in about, you know, anything. So if it's too close, let me know. I'll move it back. We'll keep trying. Bye-bye.